As soon as I click on it, it's going to blast some very loud music. I apologize for that. It's loudest in the menus. So why don't we talk before? So hello, Internet. Welcome back to Warlords Battlecry 3. In the last couple of times that we played these episodes, I was not really satisfied with my attitude towards the game. I was a little bit negative, and I didn't feel very good about that. And I've had people asking, hey, are you going to play more of Warlords Battlecry? Hey, when are you going to put them on YouTube? So I thought I'd give it another go. We're gonna be re-rolling our character. I think I'm not really satisfied with the necromancer style character that we had. I always play the same game, so I think what we're gonna do is to keep me more engaged. We're gonna pick a different race. We're gonna pick a different class. That way, it's new-ish to me, and it will be hopefully a little bit more engaging for me on my end, which will hopefully lead to better content for you. Friday, yay! It is in fact Friday. In my in my job, Fridays don't mean anything, but I imagine for most people, Friday is a good thing. Although I guess also a lot of people are quarantined, so I don't know how that affects people's schedule. Again, this is floor 3. It'll be widescreen once we get into game. So I'm going to click on this now, and it's going to blare some music. I'm going to keep an eye on my audio levels. Yeah, that's not super loud. It is loudest in this menu, and will be quieter once we get in game. So I want to create a new character. We played as Arthas last time. I would like to just change things up a little bit. So I was thinking maybe play like the complete opposite. Maybe be like a paladin or something. I don't think I've ever played a paladin in this game. And I always play as undead, so I thought we would try a different race. What's a good paladin-esque race? Probably knights. Or what's the other one? Empire. One of those has a real focus on mounted units, knights in particular. I don't really like the human races though. We could be like a dwarf. I could see a dwarf paladin. That's definitely a thing I've seen in like World of Warcraft and EverQuest and things. I don't know the dwarf race at all, actually. Why don't we play a dwarf? They have very low dexterity. I don't like that. I don't see anything else that's really paladin focused, really, that you would think would be a paladin. I mean, we could go something crazy, not really paladin-esque, like a minotaur. They're real dumb and have low dexterity as well. Be an orc mage. There is no mage class, and honestly, the magic users in this game are a little underwhelming. They do get some pretty interesting spells, but for the most part, their utility, the combat ones, are never really... I just never enjoyed playing with them. I'm kind of focused on the healer type, actually, to be honest. We could be an orc healer, I suppose. The orcs are not a good race. They're not very powerful. Or rather, they don't have very good units. We could... Orc. Well, I think in... your spelling is bad. No, I think in Warcraft they're spelled orc, O-R-K, aren't they? Or not Warcraft, Warhammer, sorry. Play an orc priest. We'll be an orc, I guess. We'll be an orc paladin, because there are so many orcs that are really holy folks. We need a name. Oh, jeez. Jeez. I don't know orc names. Trunk. Sure, we'll get Crunk. We'll customize our character a little bit. Let's find a nice portrait. Actually, I like that one. Hideous. Some of these portraits are from the previous games. You can usually tell based on the background style, like this was an older game, orc portrait. I actually really like that one. We're going to go with this guy, the pig nose and the big old tusks. The voice, I don't really care. Wade through their blood, absolutely. You're correct. Oh, and only one orcish hero, unfortunately. We're gonna be a chonky boy. So we start pretty strong, pretty charismatic. I would imagine that's due to our paladin. But our intelligence and dex are pretty bad, which means we're gonna be bad at spellcasting, and our character's gonna be very slow. So, whatever. We'll build a melee character. So we'll be Crunk.
It was only a matter of time.
Oh, I don't care about this story. Something about, we crashed our ship on this island. If you're interested in story, I'm sure that cinematic is on YouTube somewhere. And we start with only the option to explore the Sundered Isle. We did this in our last episode. Need to search the Isle for clues as to what happened on the Sundered Isle. You may take a few troops with you, but you may not build anything. So I don't know orcs very well. Let's take a look at our units here. If I remember right, none of them were... Yeah, that's right. So I remember, I think they get a lot of upgrades for their cavalry. By the way, I say cavalry, and I know that that's incorrect. I know it's cavalry, but I just, for some reason, it got lodged in my brain that it's cavalry. So I think they upgrade their have a lot of upgrades for their wolf riders, and I think that, like, the troll is a powerful range unit, and then the ogres are like bonkers good. Or no, I'm thinking of whatever. We'll just get into the game here. We'll take a ogre because he's a big boy. I feel like the rest of these are pretty useless. Give me a wolf rider and give me a sniper, I guess. And we'll pop in here. Search the island, blah blah blah. No building. We'll read the dialogue, I guess. Are you gonna... There you go. I sense an evil presence in this storm. We should go ashore and find its source. I already told ye that I'd bring ye ashore, but no further. But you never explained why? Everybody knows that the Sundered Isle is off limits to the mortal races. High elves guard it, and they kill those that set foot on it. Well, I will not be long. A quick look around, that is all. Yes, well, the legends say that they guard a gate to hell on the island. I'll not be going near it, but you can take 6 of my archers. They'll look after you. You couldn't spare any more. You seem pretty hardy, but if you get into trouble, come back and see me. So if we come back, he'll give us more units. But again, we're going to explore to the southwest first, because there's an item back there. And I think because our intelligence is low, so we're going to struggle a lot with casting. But do we start? We don't even start with spells. So we don't even have a heal. Heals are very valuable in situations like this where you can't level up your units, where you can't upgrade or build new units. We'll just murder these demons here, and we'll head over here to pick up an item. Trunk in his trunk. Big army of weak units is good orc rush. The best rushing race, if I remember right, is the demons. In fact, I think you could probably find some speed runs. I think in speed runs they play as demons because they get a powerful flying unit that they can start the game with. So that's usually something for them, because then they can just rush with powerful units that they bought at the start of the game. Really wish you all would stay together, because it'd be super helpful to have this big boy up front. Keeping an eye on our hero health. Let's grab this item. I don't know where you think you're going, hero. So yeah, in most RTSs, the best strategy is to just try to overwhelm as quickly as you can. +5 magic resist. That's not very good, I don't think. But that's okay. We're looking for anything that amplifies our melee, really. I don't know. Are there more items up here? Let's just push for the end of this level. I don't really feel like exploring when we have a fixed number of units. In fact, we'll send our cavalry back to see if we can pick up some extra units here. Hello, Sea Black. Welcome back. We might need to send our hero, so we'll send our hero as well, just in case this doesn't trigger. It did not trigger, so we'll see if our hero can get additional units. I think it's based on an internal timer. What are you doing? You want more men already. Some sirens going as well. Sorry, Captain, but I think it would be best. Ugh, damn you. Take another 6 archers, but don't bother me again. Sure. So yeah, all RTSs, generally the best strategy. Like, if you ever play multiplayer, it's about unit spam in the early game and trying to blitz your opponent. And that's true of this game as well. The problem is, I don't do that. I'm so used to playing as the undead, and the undead start really weak, so the only way to rush with them, like, there just isn't a way to rush with them. You have to upgrade your units for them to be even remotely valuable. Something like the orc, we could probably... I don't know. The best way is to have flying units available at the start of the game, because there are so many units that can't hit flying units. So, like, the cavalry here cannot attack... Oh, can you? Move over here for a second. Where are you? You're locked in place because of the kobold. So if we hover over him at the top here, you'll see it says versus ground troops only. A lot of these starting units can't attack flying units. So generally anything that can start with flying units is pretty powerful. Obviously archers can. Pretty sure this big guy can. He can. Our hero can in fact attack air units. But they're what's really powerful for spamming to grind down your opponents. I hear very loud music. Oh, it's Calypso music. That would be the snow cone lady. Or dude. I don't know. So I don't know if you can hear that very loud Calypso music. That's a snow cone person going through my neighborhood. Which sounds pretty good right now, but it's not even that hot outside, to be honest. It's like in the high 80s today. Yesterday it was like almost 100 degrees. Right click to level up. So I would like to raise our dex because we are pretty bad at dex, but also we're going to need intelligence for spellcasting. Problem with doing that is that our main focus should be on melee with this character, which would be strength. Give me strength for now. Let's see what we've got. We've got ferocity. We had this before. It raises our combat skill. Extra damage versus elves. Damage versus undead. Morale when leading orcs. And we don't even have healing magic unlocked yet. Knight Protector. Plus XP for mounted knights. So that only applies if we're playing as a certain race. So I hate that that's one of our options. They did not anticipate people playing orcish paladins. I think towers should attack air units. Yeah, they can, as far as I know. Snow cone, question mark? What, like ice cream? Yeah, so basically a snow cone is, they take ice and they shave it, so it's like really thin, small pieces, and then they'll pour a syrup on top, which is like, you know, vanilla or raspberry or whatever, and then you just eat the snow. It's supposed to mimic snow, like pouring, you know, syrup on snow. We ate them a lot when we were kids. They're alright. I'm not a big fan, personally. I don't like shaved ice in general. I don't like the crunchiness of it. I would rather have something, you know, like ice cream or, you know, I really prefer like sherbet because it's a lot softer and there are smaller ice crystals than you get in some ice cream. But, yeah, it's a thing. Kids do it. You know, they're usually pretty cheap. You know, when I was a kid, you could probably get one for probably less than $1 from the little, they used to drive a little Jeep around in town here and just bring people snow cones, which we loved when we were a kid. We didn't have the ice cream trucks like in the city they have ice cream trucks, but out here it was always snow cones. So we leveled up again. Oh, we didn't click. Okay. Yeah, so just ferocity, I guess. The race-specific ones I really dislike, but what are you gonna do? We continue muddling our way through here. Usually snow is better. I probably would be better if it were just snow rather than shaved ice. I bet that would taste a lot better. Not taste better, but would be a better, more pleasing texture. I remember, I mean, I've mentioned her a couple times. At last you've come to help. If I can, but we're few in numbers. How did everyone die? What creature did this? It was a Sarathi. Came seeking help. They're the lizard people. We turned it away, never should have. Sarathi did this, one of the snake men from the southern continent. No, not this, but it was angry. It tore the rift between worlds and something came through. Lie still, I'll see what I can do. We are grateful that you could tell us all of this. So yeah, snow. I mentioned this girlfriend several times. She was in college for horse stuff. And we were sharing an apartment briefly for a period there. And I went there and it was winter time and there was snow, and I picked up a handful of snow out of the grass where it was like, you know, skimmed to the top. It wasn't like I got a clod of dirt or anything. And I just put a little bit of snow in my mouth, and she like slapped my hand out of, you know, slapped it out of my hand and was like, "What are you doing?" Like, I was just, I don't know, feeling like a kid. I wanted to put some snow in my mouth, and she was like, "Snow carries pollution. You don't ever eat snow. It's so bad for you."
Mordanyon was like a scene,
etc. And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that. I ate snow a lot when I was a kid." Main thing is not to eat the yellow snow. That sounds Might have heard that once or twice before. I would like to bump... I think Charisma is going to be important to the Paladin as well. What do we get if we level up right now? A higher discount on all units, a higher command radius. Yes, absolutely. For now, we'll put another point in Ferocity. We're going to basically just dump our points in that until we get to a point where we can get to healing magic. I don't know why a Paladin would have access to Chaos magic, but okay. And then I think Smite Evil is going to be really good as well. So that's for now. We did unlock an Orcish General here. Pretty good character. We'll bump here forward. Snow is good, I still eat it, but not yellow. Fresh snow. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends where you live as well. That particular area was near a lake. They got a lot of lake snow, and they were in a pretty decent sized city, so more pollution there than there is here, for instance. But yeah, I had heard as well that snow carries a lot of pollution, and you're not really supposed to do that. We have the Dragon's Maze. Let's sail up there, see what they've got going on. Moved very quickly. I gotta assume that's because it's an older game. French snow is a snow with frogs. I mean, I would imagine French snow is very similar to American snow, and probably not, you know, related to frogs in any way. So this game is interesting because not only do you in the campaign get to play... Oh, the creaky chair. So I did make progress in getting that other chair. It just turned into a little bit more work than I expected, and I didn't have enough time to clear everything out and clean things up. So I am working on getting the other chair back, so I stopped creaking so much, but for now is an issue. But I really like this game because not only do you have the encounters where we actually go into combat, but there are other things you can do. So for instance, we picked up an item which was +5 magic resistance, which is not something I'm super interested in. So what I could do is put this in my backpack and sell it at a merchant to get gold, which is crowns, and then buy other items. You can also use items, or you can use money to purchase mercenaries. Oh, they don't trust us enough yet? Can we? Yeah, okay. You can also hire mercenaries, which you will take with you into your next combat, which is, or whenever you want them, you can assign them to your next combat. And it's pretty interesting because I never really played a game with those elements before. I played Warcraft 2 a lot when I was like probably 11 or 12. I never did play Warcraft 3, so I don't know if this is like pretty standard for RPG, RTSs, fantasy RTSs, but for me this was really interesting and the first time I'd ever seen it. Plus the ability to equip your characters. Compare that to something like, Command and Conquer. I really liked Red Alert 2, and I played a lot of Generals, or 0 Hour, what was it called? I think it was Generals. And you don't get these kind of opportunities in other RTSs, so I really like that you can equip your character. But it looks like in order to gain their trust, we probably have to do one of these missions. This group of islands is home to all manner of pirates, cutthroats, thieves, and brigands. Somewhere in the center of it all, a huge dragon is rumored to live down inside a volcano. There are dragons in this game, and they're neutral to us. So basically, if we do a lot of work for the Minotaur race, we will eventually have them become an allied race, which would allow us to use them in combat instead of our orcs. So another really cool thing is the kind of recruitable factions, so to speak. Do we care about a treasure hunt? How hard is this? Average difficulty? Sure. Pirates have hidden treasure on the islands. You will need to search for it. Sure. We don't have any items. We might as well. Give us something to do here. It's not a campaign mission, but it is something. It only takes 6 units with us. 6 points worth of units with us. I kind of think we take the big guy. It means we have to spam units a little harder in the early game. Oh no, because I need to take a builder, otherwise it slows things down a lot. Okay, so we'll just take an ogre and a builder. That's okay. I think there are pirates to the north beyond the marsh. A good reason for you to stay south then. But they'll have treasure, I'm sure of it. They will, but they won't just give it to you. No, I didn't expect them to give it to me, random boat captain. I planned to murder them and take it. Just like my forefathers. Oh, you meant fresh. It was just my spelling. French snow is fancy snow. French snow runs from clouds. Okay, well, now we're getting into horrible stereotypes about French people. Oh, this is terrible. When I was a kid, I loved the French, both the language and, you know, we might be able to hit all 4 of these resource buildings at once. Let's unpause. Can I convert all of them? No, we're slightly out of range of the crystal one. How about now? Yes, perfect. You just stand up front and look menacing in case anyone comes by. I loved France when I was a kid. I don't know why. I think when I was like, geez, probably like 10, I met a girl in school who like was super French. She wore a beret and the, you know, striped artist shirt that you see very cliche French things about, and she loved France, and I absolutely adored her, and I think that her loving it kind of made me want to like it. So when I was a kid, I started to feel a connection to France, and then in playing Deus Ex, there's a section of the first game where you go to France and you explore like a chateau and kind of meet some French people, and like I'm sure that's not, and you go into catacombs, which is really cool, and I'm sure that that's of course not actually anything like what France is actually like. They started with a fair number of units here. Let's see if we can do something about this. Pull our builder out of there so he doesn't get murdered, and just hope we don't die here. These are basilisk. They have an interesting attack where if they kill a unit with their petrifying gaze, they will actually grant the controlling person some stone. So if you have a basilisk and it kills someone, you get a certain amount of stone from killing them. Please build this. I told you to build this. This is not a good spot for this because if it pops units out down here, they'll be stuck and we'll never be able to access them. Hopefully that's not an issue. We can't really afford to repair these things, and it's just this hero menacing us a bit. So what do we need? I don't know the orc race, so I don't know what they need really for building their units. I'm assuming a lot of stone and a lot of metal. The primitive races tend to use a lot of stone, so orcs I would imagine are stone based. We only have these few mines, and I'm hesitant to push out because I don't want them to come and destroy our tower. I can't really afford to repair it. In fact, it doesn't look like I can repair it at all. That's interesting. I've never seen that. I thought you could always repair. Yes, if we can kill this hero, that would be fantastic. You better run. So that is a Minotaur hero. Kind of awkward walk to him, as one would expect when you have hooves. Let's move our unit over here. We need to... Goblin Tower produces goblins, gob shooters, and vision upgrades. I don't really care about vision. So that's not a priority. What about... I need units. Metal. Okay. Infantry becomes resistant to missile attacks. Orcs do double damage against missile units or 10 XP. Just churn out some units for me, and if we could get them to muster over here. Please stop going to my tower, you stupid Minotaur. And we're just slowly pushing out here. We're hoping to find more resource producers. Not really seeing any of them though, which is a bit concerning because it's a pretty small map and we've already explored a sizable portion of it.
Base is under siege.
Base is under siege. Just that one dude, it's fine. And we should be producing infantry over there. No infantry yet, huh? Okay. Orcs don't need repairing, they just build new things. Yeah, apparently. Which I don't love. Okay, so we did get a unit. This is a very weak unit. It's not very good, but it's what we have at the moment. We can upgrade, which I think we want to do immediately. And I think we'll start churning out our kobolds as well. This will give us some people to put in our mines, which will increase our resource production. You really can't do anything but melee, huh? I guess you'll tag along. Actually, put you in the tower. What do you got going on? Let's see what it improves. It improved combat and speed. That means it's going to hit more frequently, and it's going to attack more quickly. Not amazing, but it's something. So let's push up a little bit, see if we can explore a bit. Deus Ex is a good game, or was. No, it's still very good. I had some difficulty running it on my computer. But basically, if you don't know, Deus Ex celebrated its 20th anniversary last month. Or was it this month? No, it was June, I think. 20 years old now. And it was one of my favorite games growing up. It was one of the first games I ever really latched onto as really, really loving. Like, I have friends who grew up playing Half-Life, you know, and that was their game. My game was Deus Ex. That game is amazing. I love the story. I love the gameplay. I love the character. Well, a lot of the characters. I really like the places that you go. It's just super neat. And it's one of my favorite games of all time. And yeah, I was going to play it on the channel, but I had a lot of issues running it where if I used there are mods like Give Me Deus Ex and the Revision, both of which have some issues with their system requirements. And then trying to play the original game as is, it uses old rendering that isn't really available anymore. So if you try to do it on normal computers, like modern computers, it doesn't run very well. So was a bummer. I really was interested in revisiting that game, but alas, you know, sometimes things just don't work out that way. So, we need to build... Oh, I just got rid of all my builders. Leader, why don't you build something? Build me... Yeah, build me the cavalry building. Would you get out of here, Minotaur? What are you doing, Zellicor? I don't know what spell he's casting either. I don't know if it's harmful to me or not. And then you, why don't you build division? No, we don't need division. Well, but it'll give us archers. No, build me another defense tower. I don't really like how that guy keeps pushing up. Build me another tower. I bought a bundle on Steam with a copy of the game. First one was in it. Yeah, it's honestly, it's on sale all the time for less than $1. So like GOG, Steam, Fanatical, Humble Bundle. Sorry, I had a catch in my throat. Humble Bundle, they tend to lump those all into various bundles and things like that. Invisible War, which is the second game, is also pretty common thing to see in those bundles. It's not nearly as good as the first one, but I love every game in that series. Steam's so money wasting. I mean, Steam is unfortunately... It's not my favorite. GOG is my favorite. If something's on GOG, I will buy it there way before I would buy it on Steam. But it's kind of undeniable to say that Steam is like, you know, pretty overwhelming the market at the moment. So you can't really get around buying it. A lot of games only release on Steam. I hope Epic and the Uplay launcher, I hope all those die in a horrible flames, but Steam's probably not going anywhere. Uplay is a good guy in RPGs. Oh, did I... Hold on. Is my stream named a good guy? I think I had set... Oh, it's going to auto-scroll if I tab off. Okay, sorry, you're going to see it scroll all the way over. What's my... How do I look at my stream title? I can't see it. I think I was going to name this something like, oh, let's play a good guy. So hopefully I didn't do that because we ended up being an orc, which is not really a good guy at all. Because they're like a mean race. But we are a paladin. Paladins are good guys. So let's just pretend that's what I mean. But do you play as a good guy in RPGs? If I'm playing something like a D&D character, then yeah, I generally do play good characters. Usually trend towards chaotic. You know, I'm more of a barbarian kind of guy personally, but for sure I tend to be a good guy. The reason for it, so you know, we've talked a few times about how maybe I was at one point in my life incarcerated. You know, I don't want to go into too much detail, but like when I was there, they would play like D&D and a lot of other like games like that, and they would always be really bad people. And I don't mean like, you know, evil characters that, oh, maybe they just are criminal, you know, underbelly rogue types. No, I mean they would play games where they would kill innocent people, where they would hurt like Some of them would hurt kids and things like that, and that was really, really unappealing to me and really made me up like I did not want to play with those people ever again. So, yeah, mostly I do stick to being a good guy. I think that I want to be a good guy in real life, and so I focus on that. Anyway, we need to focus more on developing our units. Infantry becomes highly resistant to missile attacks. I don't think that that's super relevant with the Minotaurs. Double damage against, same thing. I don't think they have a lot of missile units. Give me more of this mindless infantry, though. We need to build more units, and we need to churn out more Wolf Riders, I think, because they're better than the infantry we have currently. He's a good orc. Orcs are good guys. Well, I don't know if that is true. I feel like Tolkien wrote a whole bunch of books about orcs being not so good. Do I care about the snipers? I don't think I do. I don't think the Minotaur really have... They're very melee focused. I don't think they have really air units. And they're so expensive. 116 gold. It costs less to upgrade my tower. Or my keep, rather. So we'll do that. 10 to ogre damage. Yeah, I would like to unlock the ogre. I imagine they require ogre lord skill. Where is that? Probably something we train in here once we upgrade again. And I would like these guys to transmit disease because I think that's a DOT and we don't have any other use for crystal anyway. Let's continue amassing our forces. I love playing the most realistic characters. I even played the guy who never killed anyone and died in a first fight. You're back and forth getting ready for dinner. Well, enjoy your dinner. I had, for the first time in years, I had pizza rolls for dinner, because I guess they bought them for my niece, and then they didn't eat them. And I was like, you know what? I couldn't find a clean bowl to eat soup, and I didn't feel like going out to eat, so I just microwaved some pizza rolls, and it made me feel like a child. Because I don't think grown-ups really do that. I think I would like more gold, even though it's not one we really require for production purposes. And I would like to basically just constantly churn out these units. So, we're getting a decent-sized army. They sent some bats at us. They're the low-tier air unit that dies very quickly. I think we'll take... Well, back you off because we're going to want to build the next upgrade. Why don't we send a exploratory group out here and see what we can see to the north. Playing realistic characters. I mean, I'm not like a blind good guy. Like, everyone thinks of the Paladin in D&D as like the blind good guy. They'll never do a bad thing. They're very rigid in their behavior. They'll never abide thievery, that kind of stuff. I don't like that. Like, I'm not saying I'm that guy. I just don't want to be awful. And so, for the most part, I'm more interested in, you know, being helpful, being a hero. I don't want to be a villain, is what it comes down to, I guess. They're not really defending themselves, so we might as well ruin their day a little bit here. Go ahead and focus on that hero unit if he's going to stand there like a dummy. And we need to take out this tower quickly, otherwise it's going to kill a lot of our units. I didn't really want to push in. We would like to draw them out to fight us over here if we can. Looks like they are going to come out to fight. That way we don't have the tower plinking away at us. We don't have a huge force. This isn't really an assaulting force. I don't think we can take the whole base here. I'll kill that guy as well. Why don't we come over here and see about hitting this tower. The bats can't attack ground units, so we don't have to worry about that. I am worried about our ogre dying, but we can replace him pretty soon. He's being targeted by the tower here. Honestly, as long as our hero stays okay, I think we're fine. And if we could, we do have healing potions as well, so even if we get in a bad spot, we can just press H and it will heal us. We lost basically all of our units because they're so weak, but that's fine. If you want to go toe-to-toe, hero, I will go toe-to-toe with you. No, he's going to run away. Okay. And they're already rebuilding what they built. That is my main complaint about RTS AI, is that they basically just build non-stop. And it becomes really, really obnoxious pretty quickly. I don't enjoy the constant unit spam and stuff. Trolls and thralls, yes, I want that. Give me that, please. We'll build that over here, I guess. You should be producing And then can we upgrade to the next tier here of... We can't get the ogre yet. What do I need to get the ogre? This skill. So cancel unit production so we can get that skill and then go back to producing units. You can go get in the metal here. Again, we only have these 4 resource buildings, which is like really slowing us down. We need to be level 5 to get healing, so we don't need to focus intelligence yet, I don't think. What does charisma give us? A higher discount and nothing else. 12%. This would give us a 3% increase to cast. No, just give me strength, I guess, for now. And we'll go up ferocity again, I guess. And we'll take care of those units. Powers are holding out okay. So what can you build? You can build the big stone throwers. Yes, 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 we want that. And we also have the option of summoning 10 things to put in mines, but we've already been producing units. I don't think that that's a huge priority. Probably should build more towers. It really is just us versus them. And you can see there's some treasure laying around and things, but... And our base infantry is so bad. Can I upgrade our base infantry to do anything against normal creatures? No. I can give them experience. Give me ogres. They're just so much better than these pathetic, you know, starter creatures. Oh, what were we talking about? Deus Ex. I mean, I love the series. I love the whole franchise. It got a reboot, you know, a couple years ago with some of the games that came out. Mankind Revolution and Human... What were they? I can't remember the names. They're both pretty okay. They're not as good as the first game. And then Invisible War is like the worst out of the series, but I even kind of like that game, you know? Just not as engaging. Really, you think you're going to build on my front lawn? Why would you think that this would be okay? Kobold, you don't have to fight. You go work in a mine. Mindlessly work in a mine. Trying to build an ale shop by my freaking base. What's wrong with you? And we'll try to kill their builder units so we don't have to deal with that. Now we're starting to get some of our more advanced units, which is really good. It's going to help us out a lot. We should probably build some buildings to expand our hero or our unit limit. Let's move their spawn points or rally points a little bit further away so we don't have to deal with that. And then we'll just build hovels. In fact, just build them over here. If I shift click, I can build multiples, I think. And this guy's so annoying. Their AI does this all the time where they come in to fight and then run away immediately. They keep building right next to me. Get out of here. Like, this is how you know that the AI is not great, because they're so focused on spamming buildings and units that they're actually doing it right next to my base, even though this is obviously a terrible decision. It's just costing them resources. But I'm pretty sure the AI in this game cheats and they get extra resources anyway, so what are you gonna do? And we'll just put you on continuous production. Same with you. And once we get, you know, the Wolf Riders, I think you're a little underperforming. 11 combat, 16 speed, 22 damage. 12 combat, 10 speed, 8 speed, 30 damage. I'd rather have the high damage boys. Are you really coming over here and building again? Go murder this. Murder this thing. I'm not loving the orcs so far. Cobalt rush maybe. Cobalt don't want to build. Cobalt go fight. No, I don't know what upgrading would get us. I guess we do. We have the resources for it. And this hovel just increases our unit limit, which we want. Everyone muster together. This guy's inflicted with disease, I think. Speed drops to 1 plus no regen. Oh, so what we should have done is just taken all of our... Orc cavalry and sent them after him, because once they hit him, it'll slow him down to 1, and he'll be easy pickings. I think he's gonna die here. Yeah. So we'll get an extra ring, which will let us regen health faster. We can sneak our hero in here to grab that. Great. And we have a sizable enough force. I bet we make a dent in their base. I don't think it'll be enough to actually overwhelm the base, but we'll give it a go. In fact, I would like everyone to come together. And hero, if you could just slip off and grab this treasure while everyone's fighting. Take that. Go grab this off the ground. That too, once the game ends, we will not have the ability to pick things up off the ground. We really need to do that before everything dies. Grab this, and we'll look at those in detail later. For now, just get out of range of their tower, please. They've built quite a lot of towers. Go ahead and send these other forces up to join us. In fact, if you boys could focus on killing their builder units, that would be great. That would help prevent them from rebuilding their base elsewhere on the island. We don't have very many units, so this was is going to be a slow thing, but we should have them here. Everyone here is focused on that. Where's my hero? You're over here. Why don't you go explore and see if there are other items about? Just in case. And hopefully they don't have a little secondary base somewhere around here. That would be unfortunate. I'm not really sure why this would endear the Minotaur to us, since we're basically destroying them. And there they've resigned, which means we won. But that is good. Once you kill all their builder units and their hero, they usually will consider resigning. So we did it. Pretty sloppy, honestly. Very slow. The orcs are a little slow to build up. They definitely don't seem like a blitz type race like I sort of thought they were. Or maybe I just didn't handle it right. But we succeeded. We built 52 troops, lost 15, killed 73, built 14 buildings, and destroyed 11. So, yep. Okay. Let's bump our intelligence now. And we're going to take our first point in healing magic, and we'll look at that spell once we get back into the game. I have no interest in taking these boys with us. We'll take a backup ogre general guy.